We just went through Y Combinator.
People who watch this, they're entrepreneurs. They want to get into YC. How do you get into YC?
You basically have to have a concept that's been vetted by customers. Basically, you have to go to customers, figure out what they want, build something, and then make sure that they like it, and then iterate. If your team is already in the space of that customer, it's easier. YC really likes engineers. So if you have a bunch of engineers who have some sort of specific insight and have already iterated a couple times, it works.
Are you an engineer?
Yeah.
It's good to be a hacker, because if you're some business person, and you think, I am going to work on business opportunities, right? Well, I don't know if this is a business opportunity, so I'm not going to work on it. Whereas someone who's a hacker, who's just doing things for the fun of it. Do you guys know he wrote Yahoo Mail? Y Combinator has the people who wrote Yahoo Mail and Gmail.
I started another startup before this one. I helped write the last season of Silicon Valley on HBO. And that's actually how I met my co-founders to start this business.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's been crazy. It's been insane.
I'm at the Forbes 30 Under 30 Summit interviewing entrepreneurs and investors from all over the world. These founders are sharing how to get into Y Combinator, the most prestigious startup accelerator in the world.
What is it that makes startups succeed? There's two categories of answers we could give here. Like, there's the answer you give to investors about how to pick startups, and then there's like only a subset of that is useful to founders, right? If you could tell investors you want to pick smart people, right? But founders are as smart as they are. If they've already, what can we tell them? Get smarter, right? And actually, it turns out it's not that important to be smart. It's much, much more important to be determined. If you imagine this hypothetical person, 100 out of 100 for smart and 100 out of 100 for determination, and then you start taking away determination, it doesn't take very long before you have this sort of ineffectual but brilliant person. Whereas if you take someone who's like super, super determined and you start taking away smartness bit by bit, eventually you get to some guy who owns a lot of taxi medallions, but he's still rich. You can take away a lot of smart.
So you have to have the ability to think, where should we to navigate? Like, you have to have some sort of creativity to make the right choices.
No, actually, you might not have to be that creative. If you care enough about users, you can just follow what will make users happy the way a scientist follows the truth.
It's extremely stressful, but it's going really well.
Advice for just someone who wants to start a business.
Really talk to so many customers, because I've realized that I'm a really weird person, and I don't all the ideas that I have are for helping me, but everybody else has other needs and wants. So just talk to so many people.
One of the most common questions we get from people building products is how to decide what to build, how to figure out when to bet the company, how to do something totally new.
Yeah.
So how have you done that, and how do you advise other people to do the same?
I think the key is building a company which is focused on learning as quickly as possible, right? Companies are learning organisms. In a lot of ways, building a company is like following the scientific method, right? You try a bunch of different hypotheses, and if you set up the experiments well, then you kind of learn what to do. And I think that's an important philosophy. You can't be ahead of everything, so it's better to make big moves and be willing to do that than have pride and not do that and never admit that you could have done something better in the past. But I think when stuff is working well, you're learning incrementally and growing that way.
I love the I watched all your videos, so we kind of get YC. It's like, guys, these videos aren't YC.
If you were to look at Instagram day one and look at Instagram now, it's completely different. And you would expect that. You would expect the product to change all the time. And I think people's misconception is YC is a university or a school.
Yeah,
it's not. YC is a product.
I think you nailed it. We talked to people about this. I think they think we have some lessons we're going to teach you or something. So it's not like a school where we're like, here's our syllabus. We're going to read you. Here's our lecture. Here's lecture 4. Yes. How to get users. Books. That ain't it. It's more like you're in the club and you get access to the resources. And if you are ambitious and you are smart, the sky is the limit.
Whether you're an entrepreneur or not, just hearing these founders share their story is inspiring. Let me know if you have what it takes to get into Y Combinator, and if you're one of the thousands of entrepreneurs who have gone through the program, let me know. If you like this video, you're going to love the full Forbes Summit recap, where I ask dozens of fellow Forbes 30 Under 30 winners how to start and scale a successful business. Keep hustling, and I'll see you at the next video.